Last year we completed a Gen 1 Hardcore Nuzlocke. So it's asking me the question, can I do it this year, but in Gen 2, using only Gen 2 Pokemon? Welcome to the final video of the year of 2025. We've got a load of rules put on the Hardcore Nuzlocke for today. And of course, we really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. I've done a lot of work this month, and I feel like I deserve it, so let me know down in the comments. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this month so far. We're going to end off this year with a Gen 2 Hardcore Nuzlocke. And I'm only going to use Johto Pokemon for this, no held items, set mode only. And if you don't know what Hardcore Nuzlocke means, basically, if one of your Pokemon gets fainted in battle, it pretty much gets classed as dead. And that's going to be really hard, because what makes this more difficult as well is you have to name all of your Pokemon after, like, you have to give them a nickname, and that makes them a lot more, I would say, attached to them. Our Cyndaquil for today is going to be after my close friend in real life, Wacko Goldfish. You're going to be our Cyndaquil for today, our starter. You might be wondering, why am I going to go with Cyndaquil? Well, generally, I just think the fire type's pretty good in Johto. Like, there's not many fire types around, and it has quite a lot of good matchups, and truly, Cyndaquil's my favourite starter, so I feel like that's fair. Yes, we are going to be doing this only with Gen 2 Pokemon as well, and you might be wondering, how is that going to work when a lot of the Pokemon you find in the wild are going to be, well, Kanto Pokemon? Well, it just means that I won't catch them. That's purely it. We just won't be catching them. But it also gives me a chance, though, to pick up some of the more rare Pokemon. So, for example, there are some Pokemon in some areas where it's the only Johto Pokemon available in that area. And that means that if I'm not going to catch any Kanto Pokemon, I can just keep looking for until that first Gen 2 encounter comes, and I can catch that. And if you don't like that, let me know down in the comments, but this is only using Gen 2 Pokemon, so why would I pick up a Kanto Pokemon? And because the challenge doesn't truly start until after the rival fight, and you get Pokeballs, we did lose against the rival to start off with, but I'm not getting rid of my Cyndaquil. So let's get started with this run. Our rival for today, going to be one of the newer subscribers we've got, but you know what? I decided I'm only going to call my subscribers after the Pokemon we catch. Nuzlocke is going to be the name of our rival, just because this is what it is. And we'll get started with this run and hopefully go pick up our very first Pokemon very, very soon. So yeah, as I said, with Pokemon getting fainted, that means they are technically dead for the rest of the run. So we don't want to let any of our Pokemon die. We're going to have to do a lot of switching to make sure they don't. But now we've got Pokeballs, the run truly starts. Pidgey, of course, is a Kanto Pokemon, so we can't go catch it. But in this route, we actually can pick up Sentret. It's the Route 1 Pokemon of Johto. And you know what? In some of the solo runs that I've done, I've actually proven that, like, Furret is an incredible Pokemon in this generation. Because of the movesets it gets, it can... If you get it with Curse and Agility, like, come on, that is an absolutely killer combo to get. And Jubbles, you are going to be our Sentret for today. You've been a long-term subscriber and one of the most prominent in the comments section over the last couple of years. I really appreciate it. And of course, I know you like the Furret video, so we'll soon see how we do with Furret here. Well, Sentret right now. Another thing about Nuzlocke, you can only catch one Pokemon per route, so technically, I don't think there are any other Johto Pokemon I can catch on this route unless I started off at night time, where you could catch a Hoothoos and a Spinarak. But I think with these two Pokemon we should have more than enough to deal with for the first gym coming up. We beat Youngster Joey pretty comfortably, and then we head off into into the Dark Cave. Because in here there is a 1% chance to find yourself a Dunsparce. Every other Pokemon in this tunnel are all Cantonian Pokemon, so I did spend a lot of time here trying to find this Pokemon, and we did manage to catch it. So we do have a Dunsparce on the team, and you know what? This is an incredible Pokemon to actually get this early on in the game. It is incredibly good. We're going to call this Dunsparce after Weewak. Thank you for being here, mate, and welcome to, well, I hope you enjoy this video. In Sprout Tower, we are going to go and level up our Pokemon. We can't level over the level cap of the next gym coming up, so we need to just get them around about till level 9 to give us the best chance to get through the gym. But Falconer's Gym isn't that hard of a challenge, especially when you've got a Dunsparce with Rage. Rage completely trashes this gym because all they are doing is just hitting you. So even against this Spearow, it does manage to get a lot of damage in, but the amount of attack increases we got with Rage just increased it exponentially. And that just brings us to Falconer. Now Falconer, he shouldn't be too much of a problem. The worst thing about him is the fact he has Mud Slap. But if you start off with Dunsparce just spamming Rage, you're going to accumulate a lot of damage or a lot of hits to get your attack up. So when it comes into Pidgeotto, you can just two-shot it with a Rage to get it down. And that's the first gym badge done incredibly quickly. Very, very easy, this. But that's not how the rest of the run's going to be. We do pick up the move Mud Slap, and we are going to teach TMs to our Pokemon as well. We're not going to use the likes of HM Pokemon to get around. We are going to use purely only Gen 2 Pokemon for this run, which may be a bit difficult later down the line. On the next route, I was really hoping for a Mareep, but unfortunately we got ourselves a Hoppip, which, honestly, not the worst thing, really. Even though it takes a long time to properly set up, Hoppip's moveset is genuinely really good. It gets Leech Seed, it gets Synthesis, you can teach it Headbutt if you really needed to, and trust me, that combination of moves can really, really do well even on a solo run of Hoppip, just Skiploom or Jumpluff. Graham Garrity, you are going to be our Hoppip for today, going into hopefully a Jumpluff later on. And then we head back into Sprout Tower because I also needed to level it up a bit. But also, from here we can also get the Flash TM. Flash HM. As you can see, at level 9, we have got Splash, Synthesis and Tail Whip, which is not very good at all, and the best way we can go about training this Hoppip up is just switch training it. So once we've got -6 on Tail Whips, we can then switch into our Cyndaquil and just one-shot most things. The switch training really helps us out. Of course, Cyndaquil has also got Smokescreen, which is an incredible move if you watch my starters only video. Very, very underrated move for this generation, but for challenge runs, it's very well needed. Once we've used enough Smokescreens, we can then switch back into our Hoppip, who barely will get hit by like a Tackle or Peck, but we can get as many Tail Whips up before then switching out again into a different Pokemon. Once it's on -6, we can then switch into our Dunsparce, and one Rage should be a one-shot from there, even with a crit. We also learned Tackle level 10 for Hoppip, which is good. Now it actually can fight for itself. It can't get experience by switch training. Sagely goes down, and now it's time to head on to the next route. So after we've caught ourselves a Hoppip, the next Pokemon that we can really catch is going to be in Union Cave, which is kind of annoying because there's the Mareep that I really wanted, and if you come back at different times, you can also catch a Wooper in this area. Really annoying because, you know what, both of those Pokemon I would really rate higher than getting a Hoppip. But Hoppip still is really good as a utility Pokemon. Once we can get through to Union Cave, we can go and pick ourselves up, hopefully, a new Pokemon. I think there is another Gen 2 Pokemon in Union Cave, but I might be mistaken. And I was. We didn't pick up a new Pokemon, and we only have these 4 to deal with for the next gym. So, once we can start off the Rocket side quest here, we need to go to Kurt's house, and he'll sprint off to the Pokemon Well. And you know, that's a really fast running speed for an old guy. But he hurts his back, and we have to take on the Rockets ourselves. I'd be really interested to see what Team Kurt would actually have. If you guys know what Pokemon Team Kurt actually has, I would actually consider using an anime-only team of just Kurt and his team. See if they could actually beat the league. Jubbles gets down to... Wacko got down to really, really low health there, and that was very dicey. But thankfully, Jubbles could come in and clean up from there. But this switching around and having low money at the start of the game, it means you need to go back to the Pokemon Center quite a lot. When we finally make our way to the final grunt here, we start off with Jubbles, getting its defense curls up, and then quick attacking to try and chip away as much damage on this coffin as possible. And then we get poisoned, so this is actually kind of bad. So if we die from poison as we're walking, that would be really bad. We'd have to actually put them in the boxes classed as dead. But you get a free heal straight after this battle when Kurt comes over. He brings you back to his house, you get a full free heal, and you don't have to worry about that poison damage, which honestly was very well needed because if we'd had to walk back, Jubbles would have died. I had no potions at this point. That brings us into Bugsy's gym, and this is just prime Cyndaquil territory. Everything is just going to fall to Ember. I mean, most things can take at least 1 Ember, but 2 of them, nah, absolutely no way. And Bugsy himself, even with this team, shouldn't be too much of a problem. It's going to be a little while before we actually still see an evolution, but Wacko will evolve very quickly. Once it gets up to level 14, it will evolve into Quilava, and we've got our first evolution, but the rest of the Pokemon have still got a little ways to go. Sentret, I think Sentret evolves around about level 15 as well, so we could level up a bit more as well, get the Sentret evolution, because when it evolves, it gets a lot of speed compared to Sentret. Like, Sentret's base speed is around about level, like, 30. It's really, really bad. It's a good thing we get quick attack, because otherwise it wouldn't be able to outspeed anything really at this point in the game. So with all of these fights completed, apart from this one bug catcher here who has a Beedrill. Now this could be a bit of a problem. The Beedrill's got a pretty good attack stat. Like in the KC anime only run that we did earlier this month, Beedrill was a really big player of that team. I really like Beedrill. I think it's my favourite Gen 1 bug Pokemon in my opinion. It used to be Pinsir, but from playing with Beedrill a lot, especially for the usage of this channel, honestly, I really like Beedrill. It's easily my favourite Kanto bug Pokemon now. Because that Cypher is going to be a problem, especially if it sets up its Fury Cutters. And we don't want to see that. Let's see how we do against him though. So Bugsy, of course, he's got his Metapods, which are not a problem whatsoever. We actually want to get tackled here. We don't care about the speed drops. If we can get our Rage really, really high, this Cypher will not be a problem whatsoever. It brings him to level 14 and he starts setting up Fury Cut, but we've already started setting up Rage, meaning we get a clean sweep with Dunsparce. Honestly, Dunsparce is a fantastic early game Pokemon for Johto. It just takes a while to find. We pick up Fury Cutter, and finally we can get the move Headbutt and give ourselves a new Pokemon for the team. As well, we do a little bit of training before we head out to Ilex Forest, and we get Jules up to level 15, and we finally have Furret on the team. This is a lot faster than Sentret and will definitely help out. Plus, it's really going to help out in this next fight. We go against our rival, and we start off with Quilava. 2 Embers gets us the win against the Ghastly, and then that brings in Croconaw. So we bring in Graham Garrity here, we poison it, and from here, we just let the poison do its work. We're going to just synthesize up if we need to, but we took a lot of damage from that Croconaw. Poison is just going to chip away at it, and we're going to go for the Rage on Dunsparce. It is quite bulky for the early game. And after so many hits, we take it down. We're on maybe about +4 or 5. We get flinched, but then one Rage will take down the Zubat. Easy enough. That's another thing that I'm not going to do in this run as well. If a Pokemon is introduced as an evolution in this generation for the likes of Crobat, I'm not going to go and pick up a Crobat, because then I have to go and pick up a Zubat, and Zubat is a Gen 1 Pokemon, not legal for this run. But in Ilex Forest we can also pick up the move Headbutt, and this gives us a chance to find ourselves a new Jotonian Pokemon. By headbutting the trees, you can find yourselves, after a long time of headbutting, we can find ourselves Pineco. That was not the Pokemon I wanted. In Ilex Forest, by headbutting trees, you can pick yourselves up Apom, you can get yourselves a Pineco, and in a very low chance, I think even if back in Azalea Town, you can pick yourself up a Heracross by headbutting trees. But Pineco was really not the one we wanted to get. J-Raper, you're going to be our Pineco for today. It possibly might be used as a sack Pokemon. I'm very, very unfortunate for that. But it might come in useful. Pineco does have some qualities. It might just be a self-destruct at some point, but still, it does have some qualities. We also evolved Garrity into a Skiploom, and I'm really looking forward to when we get Sleep Powder and Leech Seed on this thing, because it's just such a broken combo. And honestly, you will see exactly why it is such a broken combo. Like, Jumpluff and Skiploom are incredibly fast. I go into the GameCon to see what Pokemon they also have here to give ourselves a Goldenrod encounter, but nothing is Jotonian, so we have to leave. But that means we need to go against Whitney. Now, everyone knows this one is an incredibly difficult fight, but if you start off with Dunsparce and you get hit by Double Slap on Clefairy, I've just skyrocketed my attack stat in, like, ridiculously. And again, Dunsparce gets another clean sweep. That's 3 gyms in a row Dunsparce has just been incredible for, thanks to the move Rage. We pick up the TM for Attract, and then we head through to the National Park. Now, the National Park's interesting for a few things. It's got the Dig TM, which is going to be very helpful in the next gym. And of course, we're going to teach that to who's the best Pokemon for this. Dunsparce would be a good Pokemon, but we could also teach it to Quilava as well for some type variation. Yeah, it probably will be better on Quilava. It's a bit faster, which will probably deal better with the ghosts. We can also teach Rollout, which definitely is going to be best on the likes of Dunsparce, but I'm going to keep that TM for now. We've picked up Elemental Punches as well, and then we randomly in the grass we pick up a new encounter, which is unfortunately Sunkern. Yeah, one thing about Gen 2, there's a lot of bad Pokemon here. Unfortunately, Sunkern is just another one of them. It's got the lowest base stat total of any Pokemon apart from Wishy-Washy when it's not in its schooling form, but still. This is an unfortunate catch, but it might be the only Jotonian catch we can actually get in the national park. On the next route, though, we can pick ourselves up a Sudowoodo. Yes, this guy is actually really good. I know a lot of people don't like Sudowoodo because it's a very goofy, awkward design, but this guy is actually really good for a playthrough. We managed to get him down to really low HP, we Pokeball him in, and we've got ourselves the imitation Pokemon Sudowoodo. From here, we're going to call this guy after Nike Simmons, one of our subscribers. Welcome to the channel. I know he's been here for a while, and I appreciate you being here. So, well, Nike Sims anyway. We have a full team of 6, well, 7 including Pineco in the box. We should be okay here. Like, I honestly think Sunkern is a little bit better than Pineco. But before we even go against Morty, we could also go and pick up another Pokemon if we really wanted to. And we also, as per usual, we go and slap Psychic Greg in the face. Doesn't matter that we get disabled there, we still manage to get through without too much of a problem. And then we find ourselves a Stantler. Now this is genuinely my favourite Gen 2 Pokemon. Which is weird because in real life I don't like deers. But I don't know why, in Gen 2 I absolutely love Stantler. We're going to call Stantler after another great Pokemon YouTuber that you should go and definitely check out. He does a lot of solo runs. D106, thank you for your videos. You've been very helpful. And a lot of challenges from watching your videos, learning from them. So you're going to be after one of my favourite Pokemon today. So we go and beat all of the Kimono girls up. We get the TM for the HM for Surf, and then we head into Morty's gym. With the level cap being at level 25 here, we do have some restrictions. We can't level up too much, and there's quite a lot of experience to gain from all of the ghosts that are in the mandatory fights of this gym. We can dig our way through most of them, though. This is one of the reasons why I gave Quilava dig, just because it's another move that we can really take advantage of. And we can also get rid of Leah for Quick Attack, which may help later on. Yeah, level 21 it learns Quick Attack. I thought it would learn it a bit earlier than that. But still, the stages aren't too much of a problem when you've got Dig on your moveset, and with this team of 6 Pokemon, I think this might be a decently easy fight. But we'll soon find out, because if we get put to sleep by Hypnosis, that could really spend the end for one of our Pokemon. So Morty is out, and immediately we get Cursed. Now this is bad for one thing. If we were doing a solo run, this would be really bad, because then we're taking damage every single turn we don't one-shot. But if you switch in your Pokemon, actually very, very manageable. We can put this Haunter to sleep with Sleep Powder. Yes, we finally got the Sleep Powder Leech Seed combo, and you'll just see how great this this combination of moves is. We can then switch into Weewak, of course, who gets Cursed straight away, and then we switch back out to get rid of the Curse damage. Sleep Powder, ooh, we're put to sleep against Gengar incoming. That is not good, and Dream Eater puts us on low HP. Yeah, that was really bad play, and unfortunately, Graham Geraghty, you are our first loss of the run, which is really, really, really annoying, because I really like using Skip Plume and Jumpluff. We really had to try and get around the Hypnosis, and I was so scared that I was going to lose another Pokemon in this fight. You can see me just really wondering what's the best point of call here. We get put to sleep on a second Pokemon. Actually, 3 of our Pokemon are all put to sleep. But finally, Weewak comes in, we get a Mud Slap, but then Mean Look comes in. We really have to worry. If we get put to sleep, then we're screwed. We managed to take down the Gengar, though, just Mud Slap, and then we get Mean Looked again. We now have no way to deal any damage to this Haunter. It has just used Spite on us, and unfortunately, even with us using Spite on it, it's going to lead to Haunter using Struggle. We have a lot of PP to work with, but No. I did not want to lose Dunsparce here. We can't switch out because we've been mean-looked. We have to hope to God, hope to Bidoof, that recoil damage from Struggle works in our favour. And it's just going to be a while before that happens, but he's dealing out quite a bit of damage to us and not enough to himself. If we can get rid of all of our PP, which I don't think is going to happen yet, we're going to lose our Dunsparce. And this really stings. This really stings. We've lost 2 amazing Pokemon in this fight alone. We bring back Inquilava. We win after we finally wake up. Struggle does decent damage in all honesty. But when we wake up, one dig takes him down, and it's such a bitter win to lose 2 great Pokemon like that in one battle. But this is the point of a Nuzlocke. It's so annoying. So we go and do the ceremonial burial. We put in both Graham Garrity and our Weewak. I'm so annoyed by this. We're just depositing them in the box. I'm not releasing them, but still. Let's name the box so we know exactly what this box is about. But I'm so gutted that we lost those 2 Pokemon so early into the run as well. In my Gen 1 run, I didn't lose... Actually, no, I did. I started losing Pokemon after the 3rd gym, I think. Yeah. Okay, so we need to bring in Pinecoat and Sunkern. And this team just got ultimately weaker. Even with getting a Sunstone and getting ourselves a Sunflora, the team became ultimately weaker. But thankfully, on the very next route, we can pick ourselves up an amazing Pokemon in Miltank. Now, on a lot of people's Gen 2 Hardcore Nuzlocke runs, Whitney's Miltank is incredibly annoying to deal with. Incredibly annoying. Because of its rollout, it becomes an absolute nightmare. But we're flipping that on our head. We're getting ourselves our own Miltank, and this girl is going to be ridiculously good. Unicorn Stalk, you are going to be our Miltank for today. Thank you for subscribing again, and welcome to the channel. Let's see how we do. Now, heading into Olivine City with a Miltank is pretty damn good. Sunflora is easily a lot better than Pinecoat at this point in the game. Pinecoat is pretty much there just to be a defensive wall. But we can also go pick up some new Pokemon. We can go pick ourselves up a Chinchou, a fantastic Pokemon in this region. Electric water typing is insane. Electric is easily in the top 3 types of this generation, in my opinion. And water as well, just generally always good. Lilo Endo's Bushi, you're going to be our Chinchou / Lantern when we evolve it for this run. Appreciate you being here. So let's head over to Cianwood City now that we have got ourselves the Secret Potion side quest started. One other good thing about having Chinchou is we can also teach its Surf. Strength we can also teach to one of our other Pokemon. And on the way to Cianwood, we pick ourselves up a Mantine. Yeah, I like Mantine. I think it's a good Pokemon. And in the last time that I used Mantine, Thomas Farmer, you were our Mantine for that run. I'm going to honour that again here today because Mantine was such a crucial part of the team of that run. And that was the water-only run. We evolve Chinchou into Lantern, and we head into the next gym. Now, there's a big problem with this next gym. The first bit is going to be taking down the back-to-back Dojo brothers here. We don't manage to hit a Supersonic going into the Hitmonlee until very, very low HP. That's really bad, and we don't want to lose a Pokemon we just picked up. So, we'll switch into our Lantern, who manages to tank a lot of damage, and we managed to get a Thunder Wave off, but we're starting to lose Pokemon left, right, and centre here. We bring in Sunflora of all things, and we're going to start setting up growths. If we can get our HP higher, then we should be okay to... Oh my god, we lost Sunflora as well. This is not good whatsoever. This isn't even a gym leader. This is a random... Well, this is a mandatory fight in the gym. Thankfully, D106 comes in and he stomps for the victory, but we've just lost a 3rd Pokemon and we haven't even got 5 gym badges. And I was starting to really suspect at this point that maybe we would fail this Hardcore Nuzlocke. We'll soon find out. We might have to reset if we lose all of our Pokemon and then start the whole run again. So, unfortunately, we were going to put our Sunflora into the box. That's really annoying, Dr. NYK. Really sorry about that, but look at the def box. We've got 2 grass type Pokemon in there. And as we know, grass type is really not good in this region. I'm not surprised that that's the majority of Pokemon losing. You know what? I'm going to give Pineco a go. It's managed to stay alive up until this point, and it does have decent defenses, decent resistance against this gym, being a bug type. It might help out here. So one of the best things about Mantine is the fact it's water flying. It doesn't have wing attack yet, but it is also really defensively bulky. With the flying type as well, it can resist fighting type moves. We can bring in the Poliwrath, and hopefully we can get a supersonic off and then switch out. I was really scared of that dynamic punch. I didn't realise it would. I thought it might have actually one-shot us from there. We bring in our Pineco. We decide to, you know what? Let's protect and see if it'll do like more damage to itself, and then we're going to see if we can use Bide. But we get put to sleep, so it's worth just switching out now. If we go into our Lantern, we can hopefully get a Spark off and deal out some super effective damage. But then we get put to sleep again. This is starting to remind me of the Morty fight. Hypnosis is an absolute bane of a Gen 2 Hardcore Nuzlocke. You know, I'm actually going to stick in with our Lantern for a couple more hits. If we can wake up and then at least get Thunder Wave off, we managed to push through Confusion to get it done. That's fine. Now we can bring in our Miltank, who's got Thunder Punch, and hopefully we can take it down from here. It's paralyzed. It's... oh my god, that was super effective as well. That was probably a bad move. You guys are probably watching this video going, this guy's tactics are awful. I still managed to beat him though. We didn't get a loss there, so I'm quite happy at that. And we pick up HMO 2, which is Fly. But we don't have a Fly Pokemon yet, because Mantine actually can't learn how to fly. And we missed out on getting a Hootoo earlier on. So technically we have no flying Pokemon right now. But heading back into Olivine City, now we have 5 gym badges. We can go against our 6th gym badge. And that of course is Jasmine, the Steel type leader. Thankfully this is going to be one of the easier fights for us. Digger Suit quite effective on Magnemite, so it's going to one-shot them. So even at level 29... oh, brought in Steelix Primo straight away. We're going to go for the smoke screens. Rock Throw does tons of damage, and that is really bad. I really need to keep our starter in for the final Magnemite, so we're going to have to switch. Thankfully as well, Rock Throw is not doing much damage on our Lantern. It's quite bulky, so One Surf wipes out the Steelix. I'm very happy with that. I stick in with Lantern and we get at least 2 Surfs off before it goes on to low HP. Magnemite gets taken down and we get the 6th badge without a loss. So that could have gone so badly. It really could have gone so badly. But that means now we can head off to Mahogany Town, and we can't pick up Goldeen, but we can find Mareep in this area. So I finally get myself my electric sheep. Been dreaming of this. That's a terrible pun. And Arrowbox, you are going to be our Mareep for today. Honestly, I absolutely adore Mareep and Fluffy and Ampharos. It's an incredible Pokemon line introduced in this generation. And because of the level cap with being level 35, we can also evolve it pretty much straight away. We've got a few evolutions we could do, but yeah, we'll get rid of our Pineco for a Mareep. We might be worth trying to change our team around. We get ourselves a Fluffy pretty quickly, and then straight away into an Ampharos. It evolves incredibly quickly, and it learns Thunder Punch, which is a great move to get. That means we can now head up to the Lake Rage, and this is where I actually debated something. I'm going to catch this Girafarig because I like Girafarig as well, but is it fair for me to catch the Red Gyarados? Gyarados, of course, being a Gen 1 Pokemon, but Red Gyarados is unique to Gen 2. Yeah, you guys let me know down in the comments, but I thought it would not be fair because it technically is a Gen 1 Pokemon. Also, Felicia Vale, you are going to be our Girafarig for today. Welcome to the channel, appreciate you being here. We beat down the Red Gyarados, and I leave this place thinking, should I have actually caught it? But as I'm thinking, Lance Hyper Beam someone in the face, and we start off the Rocket side quest. Yeah. This is going to be a little bit of a slog, but it also means we can get up some good levels while we're here. We bring in Felicia Vale, who can stomp her way through this fight and use Confusion on any poison types, which is good because we were really lacking in Psychic type moves. And there's a lot of Poison-type Pokemon coming up in this side quest. Stomp is also a really good move just to one-shot most of the normal types. And it can even take out Grimus, who've got pretty decent defenses. In the Rocket side quest as well, there are two main battles that you need to care about, really. And it's against two executives. You've got to go against the executive and get the Murkrow password, and then you go against the final one to unlock the Electrode room. This first guy, though, is not too much of a problem. Our Quilava, even at level 30, just doing decent. It is not... right until it gets to a Typhlosion, it is not anything special, really. Like, it's kind of that, it's again one of those awkward middle stages, but it's actually an awkward middle stage that looks good. Like, Quilava's design looks really good, and I prefer it over Typhlosion, really. I kind of wish Typhlosion looked a bit cuter, but Typhlosion's still really cool. And that brings us to the final fight in the Mahogany Town section of the Rocket side quest, and we send in D106 to just stomp all over Arbok. Apparently, deers don't like snakes, so they stomp on them. Also, deers apparently don't like plants, so it stomps on birds as well. D106 is just consistently good in this run. Like, Stantler is very consistently good in the Hardcore Nuzlocke of Gen 2. That also brings us to another challenge, which is the Electrodes, and these guys like to self-destruct, so you need a strong Pokemon to either one-shot them, outspeed them, or be able to tank the self-destruct damage. Now, the only real Pokemon that could do that is if we evolved our Pineco into Forretress, but D106 just sweeps through them with Stomp. We don't have to worry too much. You might start seeing the way that I'm building this team out right now. Like, it's balanced, but nothing is really shining as too overpowered. We start off against the 7th gym leader Price, and we miss a Hypnosis twice. We finally get it on the 3rd turn and then stomp the seal into the ground. And that brings in Dugong. Now, Dugong is kind of bulky. We're only just at around about level 30-31 here. And D106 is just sweeping through like most of this fight. A Mist comes out, which is kind of pointless. Miss a Blizzard, and then we burn the Hyper Potion. That's perfect. But Blizzard does tons of damage, and we're on 11 HP, but it's enough for us to work with and get the final hit in. And Stantler just swept the 7th gym pretty comfortably. Probably should have been better using Quilava there, to be fair, but no, I like using Stantler. It's a good Pokemon. Do not skip on Stantler. That brings us back over to Goldenrod with the next Rocket side quest area. And yeah, I'm kind of getting a bit tired of Gen 2 Rocket side quest areas, so we'll sweep through this very first guy because we've just leveled up to level 32, and you know, Quilava I think has got the quickest level up of any starter Pokemon, really. Oh no, does it evolve at level 36? I think it might be level 36. Ignore me on that point. That brings us to the top of the radio tower, where we have to go against a guy with 5 Coffins and 1 Weezing. Whoever thought this was a good team to give a Rocket was really smoking something one day. They were really on something one day. But thankfully, Lantern is such a beast. We can sweep through with Surfs and Sparks. We don't really have too much of a problem in this fight. Then Weezing comes out, and I'm kind of anticipating a self-destruct, so I need to go into a bulkier Pokemon. If we can get flinches as well, that'd be perfect. We get chipped away with Tackle. Sludge can do decent damage, but we take down the Weezing, and we didn't see the self-destruct, which is perfect. Thunder Punching then through the final Coffins, and we are starting to get on low HP. I think all of these Coffins do have self-destruct, and then we get Poison, so now we need to keep its HP high. If we can run out of here and get back to the Pokemon Center, that'd be even better. But because I do not want to lose a Miltank. I really don't want to lose a Miltank. Thankfully, we aren't taking, like, oh, this is going to be a little bit wild. We managed to get back to the Pokemon Center. Miltank did not perish. And we head into the next rival fight. And this is going to be a tough one. We could quite easily lose another Pokemon here, but we need to pick and choose which Pokemon we use. We start off with Ampharos against Golbat. We managed to get through the confusion to hit 2 Thunder Punches, and that brings in Magnemite. And Magnemite's not all that... like, it's annoying. And it likes to set up Thunder Wave, but we can set up Thunder Wave on it as well, and then we can switch into our Quilava. Diggs would be quite effective here, which is perfect. We get an easy win. And then he brings in Feraligatr. Now, I don't really have an answer for this that isn't already paralyzed, So I switch into Miltank. Lantern would probably take quite a bit of damage. And of course, Ampharos is already paralysed. We use our Thunder Punches, take down the Feraligatr, and that brings in Haunter. Good thing we've got Rollout and Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch is barely doing any damage, but then he sets up a Curse and a Mean Look. Very annoying, but we take him down, but we are locked into Rollout now. But that's all we needed. Couple of accumulation on Rollout, and we take out the Sneasel in 1. Miltank has been defensive beast so far. Getting ourselves to the top of the radio tower, we go against the guy with the level 36 Golbat. Yeah, this is just a random trainer who to this point in the game has got the highest level Pokemon you have seen in the game so far. And he completely trashes on me. We get down to very low HP, and then a Bite Flinch fucked us up. And we lost Lantern. Sorry for my language there, but I am so gutted that I lost Lantern here against a random guy because of a flinch. And I thought I could take the next hit. This is why I don't do many Nuzlockes, because I'm mashing in a lot of buttons here, trying to get through these fights as quick as possible. That I should really just take a minute and really think about my moves, and I didn't here, and I paid the price by losing an incredible Pokemon in Lantern. I'm sorry, Leah, but it's just my own bad. My own bad. We're going to pick up, who should we take with us for the next portion of the game? We're going to take Sudowoodo with us for this next fight, because Rock is very, very good against the fire types in this fight. Rock Slide as well, incredible move, has the chance to flinch if you outspeed them. We don't outspeed anything in this fight with a Sudowoodo. It's honestly, its speed is pretty garbage, but it's tanky, so it can take a lot of hits. I misclicked on Mimic and we learnt Tackle of all things. And then finally, we take down the Houndoom with a Rock Slide. Sudowoodo is fantastic for that fight if you ever need to find a Pokemon for it. And we finish the Rocket side quest, losing only one Pokemon. But oh my god, I can't believe we lost Lantern. I'm so gutted by that. That brings us to the Icy Path, and finally, level 36, I got it right this time, Wacko will evolve into Typhlosion. We just need to take out the final Pidgeotto here. But I'm so annoyed. Still so annoyed that we lost Lantern. Typhlosion is an incredible starter Pokemon for this generation. And in the Icy Path, we can pick ourselves up a new teammate. Now, ideally, I was kind of wanting a Delibird. Just because it's a bit funnier than using a Swinub. And unfortunately, no shiny Swinub this time round, guys. I'm very unfortunate, but we do pick up Swinub. And, you know, I don't know when it's going to see some use, but Jerome... no, it's not Jerome. Jiren, you are going to be our Swinub for today. You might see some play in the late game, because Ice is pretty good against the League. That brings us into Blackthorn City with the final gym to contend with. And we don't have a great answer for Dragon types, apart from Swinub. So I'm going to go and find myself... Oh my god, I was looking for a different Pokemon. So there are two Pokemon that I could have picked up here. Gligar is one of them, and the other is Teddiursa, which is the one I really wanted, actually. Teddiursa and Ursaring have got incredible attack stats. Gligar is pretty damn good, but its moveset is really lacking. And it takes a while to get in the Pokeball, so potentially we nearly lost our Typhlosion here because of Poison Sting. When we finally catch it, we add Gligar to the team, and Sam Holick, you are going to be our Gligar for today again. And yeah, I really wanted Teddiursa for this next gym because its offense is just ridiculous. So let's see how we do in this next gym as well. And strangely, you know what? Stab strength on a Furret is incredible. Like, look how much damage that just did. We took down the Dratini pretty quickly. And all we get hit by is Dragon Rage. One more strength will just take it down, then you quick attack to get the easy win. And even though we're paralysed, Jubbles completely... Oh no, we didn't clutch up there. I thought we completely swept this fight. Then we bring in Miltank. We're going to go for Ice Punch. We might as well use the Elemental Punches while they're there. And that's only the first trainer. We do manage to get through all of the trainers without losing another Pokemon. We're going to switch up our team again for this fight, just to bring in some of the heavier hitters and the tankier Pokemon. And yeah, for it, Jubbles, you are back for this next fight. Let's see how we do. Rising Badge is on the line, and we're starting off with Jubbles. Strength is dealing out half damage to Dragonair, and we miss the Thunder Wave, getting us an easy win for it. Then we get paralysed by Thunder Wave on the day next turn. We managed to take out 2 Dragonairs with just for it though, and I was debating, do we go in for one more hit? Yeah, we do. We then switch out when we got 9 HP. I'm very surprised we managed to tank an Ice Beam there, and then we switch into Thomas Farmer, who has Icy Wind. We can lower speed, but then annoyingly we do get paralysed. We take down the Dragonair, but that means we've got 4 Pokemon that can still take out this Kingdra. Now I need a tanky Pokemon here that's going to be able to at least get round a Hyper Beam. And Miltank delivers. Look at how little damage that did on us. That is incredible. We've got Milk Drink as well, so we can keep our HP high. Stomp will just make sure we can try and get some flinches in, but we're getting hit by Smokescreen quite a lot. We need to burn her potion, but we get a crit right at the end, which gets us through it. And Miltank clutches up for the win. So, yeah, we haven't lost any Pokemon since Lantern. And that still stings me. But with all 8 gym badges, we can finally head on to the Pokemon League. And the Pokemon League, it's going to be an interesting one, to be honest. We've got 5 back-to-back trainers. But before that as well, we also need to go and beat our rival for the final time. While we're here as well in Victory Road, we can pick ourselves up an Ursaring. Finally, I wanted this Pokemon a lot earlier. It is an incredible attacker. And we catch it. Ursaring, I am so happy to have this on the team. And we're going to call him Gyokamo. Thank you for subscribing, mate. Welcome to the channel. Let's see how we do against the rival, and we'll change up our team a little bit. So, we've got our Sudowoodo starting off against Sneasel. This means it'll bait in the Feraligatr next. That's fine for me. I can switch out and we can go straight into Arrowbox, who's got a much better matchup against this Pokemon. Thunder Punches will 2-shot it. We do take a bit of damage from Slash. And ideally what I was hoping for next was the Golbat to come out, but with the AI it will then send out Magneton. We get a Thunder Wave off, and then we switch out into Night Sims. Now, Night Sims can deal out big damage with low kicks. We can't take much damage from Magneton because it's resisted to, like, electric type moves. And then Haunter comes out. I'm actually going to stick in. If we can get at least one shot in with Rock Slide, that should take out Haunter. But it's only just on the cusp. A second Rock Slide does get the win. That brings in Kadabra. Now, I don't want to lose a Pokemon here, so we do need to switch. I'm going to switch. Do we go into Wacko? Do we go into Miltank? We went into Miltank because 1 Stomp is a win. And that brings out Golbat. 1 Stomp gets us the flinch. We also miss the Future Sight. And then we just get hit by a Piddly Wing Attack, getting ourselves the win. And onto the Pokemon League. Now I'm going to change up my team a little bit more, because I need a team that is going to be good for this league. And we need something that can take out Dragons. We need something that can take out Steel types. We need something that can take out Psychic types. And I opted for this team. Now, I really wanted to bring Stantler into this, but Miltank is a bit bulkier for a normal type. Ursaring's got incredible attack as well. And of course, Ampharos can take down a lot of the flying types that come around. Against Will, we managed to get the paralysis off on Jinx. We hit Thunder Punch twice, and all we get in return is a couple double slaps, meaning we get 2 Pokemon down before Executor comes in. Now, getting a Thunder Wave off here is perfect, but we take a massive Psychic to the face. I need to keep Ampharos for the Slowbro. So we're going to switch into Wacko, who can deal out some big damage with Flame Wheel. And it's nearly a one-shot. If he hadn't got the Paralysis proc there, we might have lost our Typhlosion in the very first fight. Now, because this is a gauntlet as well, if I lose a Pokemon on the way to the champion, I have to try and continue the rest of the run with only, like, less of a team. So if I lost 4 Pokemon against Will, I'd have to try and do the rest of the league with 2 Pokemon. That's how it works. But ultimately, I'd probably lose all of them at that rate. We nearly lose our Miltank to the Xatu, so we switch into Night Simmons. If we can get a Rock Slide off, this was a Hail Mary, to be honest. Thankfully, it went for Confused, where we pushed through it, and we managed to get through Will without losing a single Pokemon. Let's see how we do against Koga. Koga likes to set up a lot of Toxics, so we need to take him down hard and fast. Flame Wheel from Typhlosion shreds through the majority of his team. Like, incredibly good. We've also got Dig if we want to try and take on this Muck. We also get the Burn on Muck as well, which is perfect because Poison is a physical type move in this generation, and then we take it down very, very comfortably. We get Toxic by the Crobat, but we at least to get one Flame Wheel lock before I think it's probably time to switch. So we're going to switch into Arrow Box here, our Ampharos, and we can get a super effective Thunder Punch off for the win. We do get poisoned in the meantime, and that just leaves Venom off. But I'm going to stick in for maybe 2 more turns just to take out this Venom off. So yeah, really, really easy fight, Koga. But Bruno might be a bit of a problem. One of the reasons why I'm so sour about losing Lantern, it's actually really good in this fight. But Mantine as well, still pretty good. It's got that flying subtype, which means that they won't use their fighting type moves on us. But we are losing HP fast, and I'm on very low HP. I don't think I can tank a Thunder Punch here. But if we are expecting a Thunder Punch, it'd be worth going into Arrow Box here, which is exactly what happens. Now they're just going to keep using Mach Punch, but 3 Thunder Punches we can outpace on damage. But we're on low HP now. That's fine though, because to be fair, the next Pokemon out is going to bait in the Onix, where we can use Ice Punch on our Miltank, take very minimal damage, and we can get an Ice Punch win there. Hitmonlee comes out, and this is a bad matchup because this is a normal type Pokemon. We managed to get a flinch on Stomp, and then that brings in Machamp, and there is absolutely no way I'm tanking a Cross Chop from this thing. I don't think any of my Pokemon can actually tank a Cross Chop. And what we're really hoping for is that Cross Chop misses, like it did there, because it doesn't have great accuracy, or we get flinches. And that's the reason why I stayed in with Miltank. We managed to miss loads of Cross Chops, get flinches, burn the max potion, and stomp it into the ground. But we could have very easily lost one of our powerful Pokemon there. And again, Karen is no joke. This time we bring in Giacomo, who's got incredible attack, and we're going to go for the Dynamic Punches on Umbreon. We get down to very low HP, and unfortunately, it's just really not working up for us. We've been sand attacked into hell, so I'm going to switch out. We have rested back up to get full HP, because Ursaring gets it naturally on level up. And then when we bring into Arrow Box, we use Cotton Spore. Yes, we actually use Cotton Spore to lower its speed, meaning that when Giacomo comes back in, hopefully we can actually hit it this time with Dynamic Punch. We get it, and it's still not a one-shot. So we slash for the win. Stab boosted slashes are incredible on an Ursaring. We managed to get paralyzed, but we do have rest if we want to get rid of that paralysis. We're down at low HP, and that's a bad situation because they will now outspeed us to get the win with Petal Dance. So we switch out into our Typhlosion to get the win there. Bringing in Gengar. Now Dig is going to be super effective here, but it's not going to deal more than half damage. I don't want to be paralyzed by Lick, and we managed to get through. Bringing in the Murkrow, where a Flame Wheel will deal out about half damage. Flame Wheel will then take it out on the second turn, and that just leaves the Houndoom, and Houndoom is very scary. But it's a good thing we've got our Typhlosion here. With 7 HP, I needed to switch, but Pursuit takes down Typhlosion. Yes, this Houndoom managed to use Pursuit correctly and managed to take down our starter Pokemon. I was absolutely livid because now we've got to face Lance with 5 Pokemon. I couldn't stop here. Like, Typhlosion, yes, we've just lost out one of our best players. Arrowbox starts off the fight with an easy win against Gyarados, but we get paralyzed ourselves. If I can at least take down this a couple of Dragonites, wow, 8 HP. I can at least take it down with our final Thunder Punch, but I think Arrowbox is pretty much done here. And it's either I switch into a Hyper Beam, or I'd let Arrowbox fall. I don't want to let Ampharos fall. So we switch in Thomas Farmer, and unfortunately, it falls. We're losing Pokemon left, right, and centre here. We've lost Typhlosion, we've just lost Mantine. Nike Simmons manages to take down the next Dragonite, and this is looking incredibly bad. Somehow we managed to tank a Flamethrower and take down Charizard, leading into Aerodactyl, but I needed a safe switch. We have only got 2 Pokemon left to take on the rest of this fight. Thankfully, we can use Milk Drink to keep our HP high. But this is looking incredibly bad now. We get the freeze on the Aerodactyl, meaning we can then go into the final Dragonite. Oh, we can learn Body Slam as well. We can go into the final Dragonite with an Ice-type move. Safeguard makes sure that he won't get frozen. And then he puts himself into Outrage, but we've done enough damage to get the win. But we lost 3 amazing Pokemon in very quick succession there. Meaning, Miltank, Ampharos and Ursaring, you guys actually joined the Hall of Fame. And, you know, that's a lot more dead Pokemon than in my Gen 1 run by the end of the league. Really, this is a lot tougher as a Hardcore Nuzlocke Gen 2 than Gen 1. Gen 1, there are a lot of ways you can get around the likes of, like the AI and the badge boost glitch and such, but Gen 2, my god, this was a lot more difficult. Gen 2 Pokemon are not that strong, really. You've got your outliers, like you've got Ursaring, Miltank and Ampharos, who can tank a lot of damage and deal out a lot, but look at our Deadpool. Skiploom, Dunsparce, Sunflora, Lantern, Typhlosion, our starter. I'm so annoyed that our starter went down there. But we're going to have to deal with what we've got in backup now to try and beat Kanto, and of course beat Blue and beat Red. I don't know if this is going to be possible to beat the rest of this. We're going to bring in D1OD, our Stantler, bring in Girafarig, and do we bring in Gligar or do we bring in our Swine up here? Or we could bring in, Furret back in if we can get Curse TM. Curse, Agility, Rest, Furret is incredibly good. I really mulled around these decisions quite a lot and then decided on Gligar. So let's see how we do in Kanto. There's a couple of Johto Pokemon we can actually pick up in Kanto. And again, this is another point of contention. If we actually find them in Kanto, can we still technically... Are they still technically Johto Pokemon? They were just introduced in Gen 2. But you can't actually find them in Kanto. Sorry, you can't find them in Johto, you can only find them in Kanto, but they are Gen 2 Pokemon and classed as Johtonian Pokemon. Yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think of that. And my god, we've just lost Gligar straight away. I'm so sorry, Sam Holic. I was not expecting an explosion there. Really wasn't expecting that. That is so annoying. We've lost another Pokemon. We haven't even got to Blue. And Gligar would have been great with Guillotine. Thankfully, Giacomo can come in and Earthquake through the rest of Surge's team. But I was not expecting a loss here. We can Earthquake our way through. And we also nearly came close to losing Giacomo there as well. So annoyed at this. It really does sting hard when you can't use them anymore. And you've really spent a lot of time investing into some really good Pokemon. But yeah, we bring in our Swine up and immediately we're going to evolve it into Piloswine. We've only got 2 Pokemon left in the box here, so I'm going to go and catch ourselves a Houndour, which is only found in Kanto. Annoyingly, you cannot catch this in Johto, but screw it. I need another Johtonian Gen 2 Pokemon. We're going to catch ourselves a Houndour, and Jack Ruby, you are going to be our Houndour for today. Immediately we can evolve it into Houndoom, and this is an incredible Pokemon. We finally have a Pokemon with the Dark type. And that's fine to take on Sabrina. Hopefully we're not going to lose another Pokemon here, because I cannot take any more losses. Bite is just shredding through his first Pokemon, and we need to make sure we keep under the level cap of 58 for Blue. So it's fine to take on the rest of all of these gym leaders, because technically they're all under the champions level. So yeah, level 50 is fine to take on. Jack Ruby manages to sweep through that gym, and that sets a good precedent for the rest of this run, really. Houndoom is incredibly good, it's incredibly fast, and it's got great typing with Fire and Dark. It also sweeps through Erica's gym very, very easily. Yeah, it's not very often that I show all of the Kantonian gym leaders in a Gen 2 run, is it? It's mostly because there was a few points where we well, as you saw with Gligar, we lost a Pokemon, so I didn't feel like it. I thought it was worth actually showing the Kantonian fights this time round, just because there were chances where we nearly lost our Pokemon. Bringing ourselves up Janine. Janine is hands down the worst gym leader in Kanto. We can take it down incredibly quickly with just Ursaring, with its incredible attack stat and slash. Earthquake. Really not much else to this fight. We just sweep through it incredibly quickly. One thing I don't like about the run through Kanto is how much time you need to spend in Cerulean, because you need to go over to the power plant, which is just an annoying side quest really. Like, I really don't like that part of it. And of course you've got to go through Nugget Bridge to get to Misty. It's really, you spend most time in Kanto in Cerulean, and I just want to get on with the run and get to Red and Blue. I don't want to deal with all this stuff. I understand why they did it, of course. Like, they've done it for the gameplay, they've done it for the story. You can also go to Mount Moon and fight your rival again, of course, which I never do because I want to get the best time on these videos when I'm doing solo runs. Why would I go and waste some more time by going against the rival on an optional fight again? Misty as well is actually probably one of the more difficult gym leaders. Her Lapras deals massive damage to one of our Pokemon. So we have to switch out into, you know, let's bring in Giacomo again. I like using Giacomo. And we take a lot of damage. We get confused as well. Oh my word, this is not looking good now. This is why I'm showing you these fights, because the Misty fight nearly took down my entire team. Thankfully, D106 is just so reliable. We can stomp our way through this after getting it confused and put to sleep. This is why you shouldn't skip on Stantler. It is actually very, very good and very, very useful. Bringing ourselves into the Brock fight, of course. We're just going to use our Miltank. Yeah, Miltank can learn Surf if you didn't realise that by now. And it just surfs through the entire game. We had to use a Surf Pokemon because we lost both Mantine and Lantern. So we needed a Pokemon that could actually take down some of the Pokemon. And at least get us around and traverse around the regions. Brock is really not too much of a problem. Honestly, the worst thing about this fight is he has Kabutops and Almastar, which I think is a great addition to his team. Just annoying to take on. We take him down though pretty comfortably after that, and I don't understand why he doesn't have a Rhydon. I think it evolves at level 42, so he should really have a Rhydon. We nearly lose our Miltank again. I'm really toeing the line with this Miltank, but it's going to be so crucial to the final fights. That means we can swim over to the Seafoam Islands and go against Blaine. Yes, Cinnabar is blown up from the volcano, and we have to go to Seafoam to fight the gym leader. Surf will just get us through this entire fight incredibly quickly. It's honestly a great thing that I've still got Milk Drink on our moveset. And it's also great that it can learn Surf. Rollout is just a standard move, I would say, for a Miltank on a Hardcore Nuzlocke. And then you can choose whatever move you want for your last slot, and I chose Body Slam because I like using Body Slam. It's not as good as in Gen 2 as it is in Gen 1, but still, solid move to have. That brings us though to the final fight, and that is Blue, the former champion. Not the final fight, second from final fight, what am I talking about? But this is a hard fight. We start off with Arabox, who can use Thunder and one-shot the Pidgeot. That then brings in the Rhydon, so we're going to switch out into our... Should we go into Miltank because we have Surf and that's quite effective. We also have Milk Drink so we can get our HP back. And that's a one-shot on Rhydon. This is looking pretty good. Alakazam's pretty defensively weak and we're decently fast as well. But he sets up a Reflect and uses Psychic, so we're on low HP here and Gyarados is incoming. Usually it likes to set up a Rain Dance to begin with, and that's going to work into our favour, but he goes straight into Hydro Pump. I was really hoping that he would set up the Rain for us and then we can use Thunder to hit every single time. This now baits in the Executor, so we go into our Houndoom, and one Flamethrower from here should be a one-shot. That just baits out his final Pokemon, which is Arcanine, and it's Fire v Fire. Extreme Speed does incredible damage on us, so we need to now switch out. And this is looking bad now. Extreme Speed is dealing out really good damage. Earthquake will be super effective, and it gets us a win from there. Ursaring clutched up, and we managed to beat him, getting ourselves the Earth Badge. And that is all of Kanto and all of Johto completed. As a Gen 2 Hardcore Nuzlocke, I've not had to reset the entire game at all. But what we can do on the way to Mount Silver, we can pick ourselves up a Larvitar. Yes. And of course, Woopergoat, you are going to be our Larvitar, going into Pupitar and then Tyranitar for this final fight. I'm glad I found a Larvitar and not a Misdreavus, because Tyranitar is going to make this final fight so much easier. Let's see how we do against the final gym leader. Final trainer, Red. Red starts off with his Pikachu, so we start off with Stantler. We outspeed and stomp it into the ground, burning one of the full restores in the process, and the second stomp gets a crit, giving us the win. That then brings in Espeon and we go for Confuse Ray, bringing in the Hypnosis spam after that. Hits us out Confusion, then hits a big Psychic, but we've also got the move Dream Eater, so if we really got the chance, we can heal some HP. Stomp manages to take down the Espeon, that brings in Snorlax. Now this is a good Pokemon to put to sleep, and also Dream Eater. Because it's got incredible HP, we could actually get a load of HP back, but then Body Slam hits us and we lose my favourite Pokemon. In Gen 2, we lost Stantler to the Snorlax. So we bring in Wooper, he cleans up from here. Earthquake is doing massive damage. Wouldn't be able to take a Solar Beam, so we do need to switch out here. And if we switch into Jack Ruby, we can tank that damage incredibly well. Bringing in the Flamethrower as well, and that gets us a win against the Venusaur. I'm determined not to lose any more Pokemon here. We're going to switch into Arrowbox when the Blastoise comes in, or going to Unicorn Stalk as well. Either way, we can tank Surfs really, really well. Even if they set up a Rain Dance, Milk Drink would just recover all that HP and we can just Body Slam our way through the Blastoise pretty comfortably. We get down to very low HP and I was debating, do we stay in or do we switch? I go for the Milk Drink, see how that does. And we're down at 43 HP. Whirlpool damage and Surf is really annoying me, but Milk Drink is that good of a recovery move. We can tank whatever he's throwing at us. Surf is dealing out pretty good damage. If he'd set up the Rain, he would be doing a lot more damage. He probably would have taken out Miltank, but Milk Drinking constantly gets us back up to near enough full HP very quickly. It recovers half your HP. Like, this is an incredible move. When we're back up to a comfortable range, now he sets up the Rain. Which is worse for him because now he sends out Charizard. And our boosted Rain Surfs are going to two-shot it from here. Flamethrower does barely anything and it burns us, but Miltank gets us the win. I'm really annoyed we lost Stantler in that final fight, but still. We've completed a Gen 2 Hardcore Nuzlocke. We've lost 9 Pokemon on this run. We had 4 in backup, but still. I'm very happy with how this went. I'm very impressed that I did this first time as well. Once we drop in D106 to the death box, I'm very sorry, mate. You did so well until that final fight, and it was my bad strategy that did it. Go and check out D106's channel. It's really good for solo runs. He does a lot of Sanqui runs where he brings later generation Pokemon into Gen 1. Very interesting watches. And let's give a big thanks to all of our subscribers that have been featured today as our Pokemon. I'm very sorry to the ones that have experienced death here, but we did this in 15 hours and 22 minutes. Thank you for getting to this point in the video, guys. Please smash that like and subscribe, and I really hope you've enjoyed this year of videos. We'll see you next year. Stay breezy, guys.